As we head down the stretch of the regular season, the postseason is on the horizon, and everyone is trying to play their best basketball. One of those teams doing that is White Bear Lake, as the Bears welcome in the Park of Cottage Grove Wolfpack. Tonight, it's Suburban East girls basketball on SEC Sports. My name is Hogan Greenwood, along with our SEC TV crew. Glad to have you in here at Pat Galvin Gymnasium. White Bear Lake hosting Park of Cottage Grove. The Bears coming in with a record of 15-8 on the season, 10-5 in Suburban East Conference play. Under the leadership of head coach Jeremy Post in his 19th year, future Hall of Fame head coach. They have won their last 3 games and 5 of their last 6. And White Bear Lake trying to continue their run here in the Suburban East Conference, sitting at 3rd, a half game up on Creighton-Durham Hall, trying to chase Eastridge at undefeated 15-0. The Raptors have been one of the perennials in the Suburban East Conference. Meanwhile, Park of Cottage Grove, 9-13 on this season, 5-10 in conference play under the leadership of head coach Stephanie Tolkinen. In their last game on Wednesday, their lowest point output of the year, they lost to Eastridge 54-19, looking to bounce back and pick off the Bears here on the road. Starters have been announced for White Bear Lake tonight. Addie Post, Maddie Thompson, Elise Dieterle, Marin Peterson, and Chloe Tyson, the starting 5. And we highlight Elise Dieterle for the Bears. She's had a sensational senior season, the 6-foot forward, averaging 14.5 points per game for White Bear Lake. She had 20 points in the meeting between these two teams earlier in the season. And she has a season high 30 points. That was a career high that she had on this floor when she faced Mounds View a few games back in the Suburban East. And for the Wolfpack, the player to keep an eye on tonight is Mesa Jamison. She's averaging 11.7 points per game in her freshman season, listed at 5'11". She comes off the bench tonight, but she has been a major impact for the Wolfpack. As we get underway, going right to the basket there was Gracie Smith, who's averaging in double figures as well. She could not convert. And here come the Bears into the front court. Dieterle looking backdoor. Chloe Tyson back outside for Post. And White Bear Lake turns it over, trying to force it to Chloe Tyson. Tenley Nelson, Malaya Ramirez, Olivia Zanata, Taya Alvarenga, and Gracie Smith, the starting 5 for the Wolfpack. And they knock down the first jumper of the game. That is Olivia Zanata, the 5'8" sophomore, averaging 6.4 points per game. White Bear Lake defeating Park of Cottage Grove back on January 10th. 65-53. And look at the Wolfpack in transition, getting it up ahead for Taya Alvarenga for 2. The sophomore makes it 4-0 Park. Good look inside. Could not convert was Maddie Thompson. Got it back out for Addie Post. She'll penetrate. 3 off the mark for Peterson, and the follow is good for Chloe Tyson. 5'11" junior, averaging just a shade under 9 points per game. And White Bear Lake on the board as Wolfpack turn it over. Here comes Addie Post on the move. Peterson trying to fire a pass underneath, knocked away. Active hands from Malaya Ramirez, the freshman. Here is Dieterle, high post. Plenty of time on the shot clock. They work it around the perimeter. Here is Tyson, losing the handle, and a turnover. Open Gracie Smith, just a little bit short on the triple, and the rebound to Addie Post. White Bear Lake coming off a season in which they made the state tournament, and they know what it's like to play some of their best basketball here down the stretch of the regular season. However, they turn it over there, coming in with a record of 15-8, as we mentioned. Leadership of Jeremy Post, 19th season for the head coach, future Hall of Famer, as we mentioned. Congrats to him and all the success that he's had over the years. And potentially trying to make a run to another state tournament. Here's a handoff for Ramirez. Short corner. Sonata off the bench. And Dieterle pulls down the board. Down low, Chloe Tyson into the corner. Maddie Thompson. Post will pull up. Rebound for Dieterle, and she could not get the putback to go. Here comes Gracie Smith, just a shade over 11 points per game this year in her senior campaign. 16 points in the loss to White Bear Lake earlier in the year on January 10th. Nice runner off the glass for Taya Alvarenga. Just 4.2 points per game, but she's got 4 points early on in this first half. 6-2, Park of Cottage Grove with the lead. Thompson bouncing in the corner. Tyson out for Dieterle, and she's short on the triple. Rebound to Gracie Smith. Up ahead, Alvarenga running the floor. And what a start for the Wolfpack on the road. They lead by 6. Just 4 minutes gone in the opening half. 8-2, and Alvarenga has 6 of the 8 points for Park of Cottage Grove. And a great sign for head coach Stephanie Tolkinen. As we mentioned, not their best performance last time out on Wednesday. They lost 54-19 to Eastridge. And Alvarenga doing a brilliant job running the floor, becoming available down low. And the Wolfpack finding her in transition. Hasn't been the best season for the Park of Cottage Grove, under 500 at 9-13, 5-10 in the Suburban East Conference, but as we head down the stretch of the regular season into section play, everyone is 0-0, and the Wolfpack, if they can create a little bit of a spark, potentially make a run here in the postseason in about a week or two time. Out of the timeout, White Bear Lake making a substitution. Sophie Manier into the game, number 25 in black, but it's another turnover for White Bear Lake. As Peterson shuffled the feet, Wolfpack will have the basketball back. Number 10, Ella Salmon, freshman, number 10 in white, into the game for Park of Cottage Grove. Here is Ramirez down the lane. Count it, and one. Malaya Ramirez will have a chance at a three-point play. Defender went down, and Ramirez just getting a straight line to the bucket. And she cashes in from the stripe. And that makes it 11-2, Park of Cottage Grove early on. Manier got it back out for Tyson. Into the corner for Peterson. A little too strong. Offensive rebound and the putback for Sophie Manier. Manier averaging 5.5 points per game off the bench in her junior season. And the first foul going on Marin Peterson there for White Bear Lake. She will head to the bench. Ramirez gets it back. Up top for Ella Salmon. Alvarenga, shot clock winding down, gets to the bucket, and gets the friendly roll. Alvarenga with 8 first half points, not even 6 minutes into the game. Has doubled their season average, and the Wolfpack extend their lead. Post into the corner, Tyson will try. And the rebound down to Gracie Smith. A couple players down behind the play. And nice steal, Chloe Tyson racing the other way, and she'll lay it in. And points off turnover is going to be important for White Bear Lake after they dug themselves a 9-point hole. Back to a 7-point game. Smith flashing high post. Alvarenga over for Ramirez. Alvarenga gets it back off the bobble. A lot of contact, no call. Second chance for the Wolfpack. Too hot to handle for Smith. And Addie Post looking to push the pace. Thompson down for Tyson off the glass. And Chloe Tyson's got back-to-back buckets. And the Wolfpack will take a timeout here. 11:19 remaining in the opening half. Back to a 5-point game. And Addie Post, good recognition. Thompson, head up. And Chloe Tyson able to finish off the bucket. Tyson had a season-high 18 points earlier in the year. 5'11 junior. Had 12 points in the win back on January 10th against Park. And White Bear Lake has really controlled Park over the years. Have won 9 out of the last 10 meetings. And if you go back one more, 9 of the last 2. White Bear Lake sweeping Park the last couple of seasons with a couple splits in between. But Park of Cottage Grove flushing all that behind them, and they've come out on fire here in this first half. Led by as many as 9, and here's White Bear Lake back in the zone defensively, and Park of Cottage Grove throws it away. Third turnover for them in this first half. Gabrielle Hartzell into the game. Dieterle finding Tyson, nearly banked in a 3. Dieterle's got the basketball, and she's able to put it in. Second chance points for the Bears, and it's down to a 1-possession game. Active hands there from Hartzell. Picked up at midcourt by Smith. Park wanted a kick ball. We play on as Addie Post with their head up. Into the corner for Tyson. She'll step back on a triple. Rebound for Hartzell. And we got a whistle and a foul. It's going to go on the Wolfpack. Zarnata will pick it up. That'll be her first. And Taya Alvarenga will come back into the game. Wolfpack fall asleep on the inbound, and the Bears make them pay. It's Sophie Manier splashing in a 3. And we are tied up at 13 apiece. 8 minutes gone in this first half. Here is Alvarenga. Nice high-low action, and they get a bucket with Ella Salmon lurking on the baseline. Good find from Zernata. And Park reclaims the lead, 15-13. Dieterle ripped away by Alvarenga. And she threw it away. Tyson working hard to get it back, but she lost it to Gracie Smith, and here come the Wolfpack. Alvarenga traveled. 4 first half turnovers for Park as Malaya Ramirez will come back into the game. Dieterle's been quiet so far tonight. Just 2 points. Addy post open. Got it outside. Triple a little too strong for Manier. And Gracie Smith has the rebound, looking to push. Up ahead, Zarnata could not get it to go. And Dieterle backtracking for the board. Tyson threw it away. Alvarenga on the move. And Alvarenga will take the contact and head to the free throw line. Both teams a little sloppy with the basketball the last couple of possessions. And Taya Alvarenga already with 9 points in this first half. She did not score in the meeting between these two teams on January 10th. But she's got 10 points already into double figures. Just past the midway point of the first. Dieterle gets a post touch, draws a crowd, and whistle and a foul. Park thought they had the the strip cleanly there. However, it's going to go on the Wolfpack. First on Alvarenga. Dieterle launching a three, and that is short. Trying to force the issue there after she's been off to a slow start. Zarnata out top. Well, Ramirez working around for Alvarenga. Shot clock under 10. Ramirez. Alvarenga comes to get it. Good enough to make something happen. Handoff. Tenley Nelson fires up a three. And the offensive rebound for Zarnata. Going back up with it and could not get it to go. And here come the White Bear Lake Bears. Thompson back into the game. Kicks out for Tyson. And she splashes in a three. Chloe Tyson up to 9 points now. Back to a 1 point ball game. And a turnover. Ramirez threw it right to Dieterle. Addy post. Outside Manier. Got a three. Sophie Manier knocks it down, and the Bears go back in front. Everything congested inside the lane. Zarnata from the short corner knocks it down. And she's calling for a sub already, gassed. Thompson picked up her dribble, got it off for post. Dieterle turns and faces. Thompson open. Tyson puts it on the deck. Post. Turns it over right to Ramirez. Alvarenga running the floor again. And she's up to a dozen points in the first half. Here is Dieterle in the lane. Turns and faces and finally gets one to go. She's got 4 points now. And maybe that'll give her some confidence going forward. 21 apiece here as we come up on the 5-minute mark in the first half. Zarnata, not this time. Rebound for Salmon. In the lane, Zarnata working hard, and she's blocked but a foul. And it's going to go on Dieterle. That'll be her first. Olivia Zarnata at the line. Just a sophomore. 6.5 points per game. And knocks down a pair. And the Wolfpack will use a timeout here. 5:06 remaining. Park of Cottage Grove 23-21. They lead it over White Bear Lake. Hogan Greenwood on site with our fantastic SEC TV crew. And Jeremy Post looking for some answers here out of the White Bear Lake huddle. Currently riding a 3-game win streak. Have won 5 of their last 6 with the lone loss coming to Eastridge. Take a look at the section standings. White Bear Lake 3 and 4. Both teams of Stillwater and White Bear Lake chasing Eastridge. But as we mentioned, White Bear Lake coming off of a state tournament appearance, knocking off Eastridge in the section final last year. Potentially looking to make another run. Although the Raptors have looked really solid this year, and you can't count out the Stillwater Ponies as well. Very tough section up here in the greater White Bear Lake area. Out of the timeout. White Bear Lake basketball. Manier has been outstanding off the bench for the Bears. A handoff for Maddie Thompson. Hartzell back into the game, along with Marin Peterson. Here is Addie Post, shot clock to 10. Outside it's Hartzell, short on a triple. Peterson gets the offensive rebound. Thompson left open. Off the mark on a 3. Hartzell down low for Manier. It's ripped away. And the Bears able to gather the loose ball. Fresh shot clock. And we've got a whistle away from the basketball. Addie Post being held on the action away from the ball. It's going to be the third team foul for Park of Cottage Grove, excuse me. So that'll reset the shot clock for the Bears. Not a great possession so far. Here's a handoff for Post. Post stepping through, missed it. And the Wolfpack get the stop. Fast-paced first half, already under 4 minutes to go in the opening 18 minutes of play. Here is Gracie Smith, and she knocks it down from the baseline. And that is her first bucket of the game. Second leading scorer on the team is on the board, and it's a 5-point advantage for the Wolfpack, but getting inside is Maddie Thompson. Great curl, and she lays it in. Smith throws it away. Thompson. Outside, it's Manier. She falls her own miss and lays it in. Sophie Manier into double figures now with 10 points off the bench, and we're tied once again at 25. Nelson had a notion for three out of the corner. Handoff for Smith. Better movement this time from the Wolfpack. A handoff for Ramirez. And we got a whistle and a travel. Turnover Park. Wolfpack give it away for the sixth time tonight. And the Bears will have the basketball back with 2:15 to go. Chance to go back in front. The Wolfpack have led by as many as 9 points. White Bear Lake fought back. And they have a chance for the lead as Tyson sneaks in for two, got it back, and she gets fouled. It'll be the fourth team foul for Park. So baseline out of bounds for the Bears. Get it into Manier. Getting the call from the sideline. Move it around. Maddie Thompson. Shot clock down to 6. Tyson slashing in for 2. And Chloe Tyson's into double figures now with 11. Gracie Smith quickly back the other way, left it short. Here comes Chloe Tyson leading the break. Post, had it ripped away. Tenley Nelson with the steal. Good active hands there by Tyson. It'll be Wolfpack basketball. 1:10 remaining in this first half. 27-25, White Bear Lake taking a 2-point lead. Zarnata outside for Ramirez. Here's Gracie Smith teeing one up, short. And the loose ball is claimed by Manier. And a reach-in foul in the backcourt. Going to go on Ella Salmon. Just the 5th team foul. So the Wolfpack will have one more to give before the Bears are in the bonus. Second foul on Ella Salmon, so she goes to the bench for the final 50 seconds of the first half. Open is Manier, left it short, got it back and put it in. 4-point lead for the Bears. About a 2.5 second difference, shot clock to game clock. Wolfpack can essentially hold for the final shot unless they get something they like early in this possession. Smith, back up top for Nelson. Shot clock down to 10. Smith into the corner. Nelson open. Off the mark on a 3. Zarnata kept it alive. And she throws it away with 0.3 remaining on the game clock. Hartzell will inbound. Get it in for Thompson, and that'll do it for this first half. Park of Cottage Grove came out blitzing White Bear Lake early on. They led by as many as 9, but the Bears battle back, and they take a 4-point lead into the halftime break. The Bears looking for their 4th straight win and trying to improve to 10-1 over the last 11 meetings over the Park of Cottage Grove Wolfpack. Sophie Manier, first half, 12 points, leading the way for the Bears. And White Bear Lake will regroup in the locker room. We'll be back in a little bit for some halftime analysis and highlights, but for now we'll step aside. The Bears leading the Wolfpack 29-25 at the break. You're watching girls high school basketball here on SEC Sports.
I'm here today because of Tanya's relentless efforts in trying to get me healed. When I came back from the war, I became a homeless veteran. I was barely hanging on by a thread. The one thing that was constant for me was music. Music led me to Tanya. Normally with a veteran, we think we can solve everything. The truth of the matter is we cannot.
I just knew that something was different, something was off. I let him know that he wasn't alone. There are people that loved him.
And says, Michael, I know you've got a plan to take your life today, but if you give me just 5 more minutes to love you.
5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, honey, 5 more minutes to love.
Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Buckle up! Nobody is more prepared for an emergency than Dogman.
With all your kung fu skills and your canine fortitude or whatnot.
But for the rest of us, a good plan goes a long way.
Come on, let's go!
So, whether it's an unexpected disaster or the world's most evilest cat bent on destroying all do-gooders,
Destroy all do-gooders!
you can help your family be ready for anything.
No time to waste. Will you get out of here?
Get started today at ready.gov/kids.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. Getting my high school diploma was a catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher. When I look at all these success stories, I could not help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
I never realized that I'd be taking care of a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old on my own. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. We get down on ourselves on not being able to, we're the providers, but we also have to learn to take care of ourselves. Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. My daughter Isabella recently had a graduation into high school, and I got emotional because I saw pride in her eyes. I saw my daughter have her own self-love, and I saw the hard work of me being that dad 24/7 transferred to my teenage daughter. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it.
Back here at Pat Galvin Gymnasium, Hogan Greenwood with our fantastic SEC TV crew. White Bear Lake leading Park of Cottage Grove 29-25 at the break. White Bear Lake trailed for most of that first half, but able to come out on top of the first 18 minutes by 4, and a good first half for a couple of the Bears. 2 in double figures, with Chloe Tyson having 11 points and Sophie Manier 12 points off the bench. And take a look at our highlights. Alvarenga started out strong for the Wolfpack. She finished the first half with 12 points. But here's Chloe Tyson working hard on the offensive glass, kept a lot of plays alive. Both teams turning the basketball over a little bit too much for their liking. And points off turnovers were taken advantage of by White Bear Lake. Tyson knocking down a couple of triples in the first half. And Wolfpack really had success getting out in transition. Alvarenga got plenty of buckets ahead of the White Bear Lake defense. And as soon as the Wolfpack got into the half court, they really had some problems, had success getting the basketball to the baseline. And Sophie Manier leading the way for the Bears with 12 first half points. Elise Dieterle very quiet in the first half. Look for her to get going in the second half, as White Bear Lake leads at the break by 4. We'll step aside. Second half is coming your way next here from White Bear Lake Area High School. Bears lead it by 4 over the Park of Cottage Grove.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
At school, it feels like everyone's staring at me, and I'm just kind of not really a person.
Sometimes I can't believe that you could be proud of me if I'm not proud of myself.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
Think of our best times together. Let's do more of that.
Try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Danny. Danny! Laps.
Danny, we need to talk.
Danny! She's overdosing.
When no one else knows what to do, it's gotta be you. Carry naloxone. You could save a life.
I'm a different kind of threat. You can't call the cops on me. I don't even have to break in. I'm invited.
There I was, 16, divorced, remarried with a baby, another on the way, and I could barely read or write. It was time for me to change my life and the lives of my family, so I went back and I got my high school diploma. That was the catalyst I needed. Now I have a bachelor's, a master's, and I became a teacher.
Mom, this is your very first yearbook.
Your commitment to education motivates me, your coworkers, and your students.
You showed me that if you come from nothing, you can still be anything.
You told me I deserve to succeed. It's been 15 years, and I still live by that. You're the model for success for your kids, grandkids, and your students.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Start of the second half here from White Bear Lake Area High School. Bears in the home black, Park of Cottage Grove in the road white. And the Bears start the second half with a turnover. Both teams had too many turnovers for their liking in the opening 18 minutes of play. And White Bear Lake starting the second half with a 4-point lead over Park of Cottage Grove. Here's Taya Alvarenga, leading scorer at the break for the Wolfpack. Gracie Smith, very quiet in the first half as well for Park. Here is Tenley Nelson handing off for Gracie Smith. Shot clock down to 6. Smith turns the corner. The runner off the side of the backboard and into the hands of Elise Dieterle. Only 4 points in the first half for Dieterle. Post comes crashing into the middle of the lane, and she gets the whistle. We'll head to the free throw line. Addie Post also scoreless. And not much of an impact on the offensive end. 10.5 points per game for Addie Post on the year. And she gets on the scoreboard from the free throw line. Had 7 points in the win back on January 10th over Park. Goes 1 for 2 from the line, but an offensive rebound for Marin Peterson and a second chance for the Bears. Here's Chloe Tyson, the blow by on the baseline, left it short. Got it back, stripped from behind by Ramirez, and it's last touch by White Bear Lake. So the Wolfpack will have the basketball back, opening minutes of the second half. Alvarenga into the corner. Zarnata on a handoff for Smith. Nelson on a shot fake. Zarnata drives, takes the contact and one. Olivia Zarnata, a chance at a three-point play. Great action there on the perimeter, and Zarnata taking the bump from Tyson. Unable to complete the old-fashioned three, and the rebound to Dieterle. Wolfpack get it back to a one-possession game. Dieterle on a launch. It's off the rim and taken by Gracie Smith. Zarnata knocks down the jumper. A long two. And the Wolfpack draw within one. Peterson off the front of the rim. Tyson tracks down the board. Tyson on a step back three. Peterson, another offensive rebound. Tyson. Now Thompson back up top for Post. She's open. And that missed badly, but another opportunity for White Bear Lake. Post gets inside, and she's fouled. So White Bear Lake starting to flex their muscles on the offensive glass. They definitely have the size advantage over Park. And it's all about will and effort when it comes to rebounding. And Addie Post is back to the free throw line. Back into the game for the Wolfpack, Ella Salmon. Picked up 2 fouls in that first half as Addie Post splits a pair from the line. Zarnata gets tripped up by Manier. And that'll be the second personal on Sophie Manier. Nelson down low for Zarnata. Unable to score it, got it back, and put it up and in high off the glass. A dozen points now for Olivia Zarnata, and we're tied once again at 31 apiece. Thompson tried to find Peterson, slipping to the goal, but she turned it over. Ella Salmon's been active defensively off the bench. Here is Alvarenga. Zarnata, shot fake, gets open, and a little too strong off the heel. Addie Post head up. Post, too strong off the window. And Park has numbers as they look to push the pace. Alvarenga trailing was Nelson, didn't want it. And Park will work it around the perimeter. Offensive foul on Olivia Zarnata. And that'll be her second personal. She will go to the bench, replaced by Gracie Smith. Third team foul for the Wolfpack in this half. Just over 4 minutes gone in the second period. Gabriella Hartzell will walk it up for the Bears back on the floor. And Elise Dieterle gets open off a screen. Good action there from the Bears. And Dieterle's got her first points of the second half. Salmon on a shot fake. Wild attempt off the window, and here comes Chloe Tyson. Post, down low, took the contact. And she will go to the line, a chance at a three-point play. Addie Post getting involved here in the second half after she went scoreless in the first. And she's got 4 second half points, a chance to make it 5 from the stripe. Back up to a 4-point lead for the Bears. And Elise Dieterle has the rebound, but it's over the back. And Jeremy Post just shrugging that one off. You can't fault Dieterle for her hustle. Going to pick up a foul on a rebound is not an issue. And that is just her second personal foul. Skip pass for Nelson. Gracie Smith will let it fly. And Dieterle skies for the rebound. Up top for Chloe Tyson, and she reigns in a 3. Chloe Tyson with 14 points. That's a game high. And it's a 7-point lead for the Bears. Pass a little too tall for Salmon, and we get a tie up down on the block. Zarnata back into the game. Getting tied up with Hartzell. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. Manier returns along with Peterson. Good minutes for Chloe Tyson. She will get a breather here. 11:45 to go in the second half. Nice show and go. Gracie Smith could not lay it in. And it's last touch by Park. Missed opportunity there for Smith. And Smith's only got 2 points to this point as well. It hasn't been her night. So plenty of time for Park to work through their issues. Hartzell. All alone is Manier for 2. Sophie Manier's got 14 points. Largest lead of the game for White Bear Lake at 9. Nice look. Alvarenga lurking on the baseline. And a much-needed bucket for the Wolfpack, and we got a timeout on the floor. Head coach Stephanie Tolkanen wanting to talk things over just past the 7-minute mark of the second. Alvarenga is up to 14 points now. And good ball movement, good recognition by Smith. Firing that pass on a rope to Alvarenga, who finishes off the play. And Alvarenga has already surpassed her season high in the first half. It was previously 9 points. She had a dozen in the first half. Just her first bucket in the second. And maybe that'll get her going. Just a sophomore. And the upside is very bright for her. Three games remaining on the schedule for Park of Cottage Grove to wind out the regular season. They'll play on Tuesday at home against Roseville, and then on Wednesday as well against North St. Paul. Finish the season on the road at Woodbury. As for White Bear Lake, just 2 games remaining on their schedule. On Tuesday at Cretin-Durham Hall, and then finish out the regular season back on this floor against Stillwater. Out of the timeout, White Bear Lake basketball leading by 7. Hogan Greenwood, our SEC TV crew here from White Bear Lake Area High School. Manier drives baseline and turned it over. Alvarenga with the steal. Zarnata blocked by Dieterle, and it's out of bounds. Going back to the Bears, but 2 referees will have a conversation about it, and they'll correct the call. It was not touched by Zarnata after the block by Dieterle, so Wolfpack will retain possession. Open is Zarnata off the inbound, and she's a little too strong off the window. Another rebound for Dieterle, and here comes Addie Post. Chloe Tyson left all alone in the corner. She missed it, but the weak side rebound for Manier. Post on the blow by. The runner is good. Addie Post with 6 second half points. Salmon open in the corner. Back out for Gracie Smith. Skip it. Tenley Nelson knocks down a 3. Just 4 points per game for Nelson. She had 9 points in the last meeting between these two teams, and that's her first bucket of the night. Back to a 6-point deficit for the Wolfpack. Dieterle takes the contact on the drive. A reach-in foul will be the 5th team foul on Park of Cottage Grove. And it'll go on Ella Salmon. That'll be her 3rd. She will stay in the game. Ramirez replaces Gracie Smith. Manier will go to the bench. Back on the floor, Maddie Thompson. Here is Dieterle. Short on the fall away. And out of bounds to the Wolfpack. Nelson bouncing it for Zarnata. Short, and the rebound to Dieterle. And she's called for the double dribble. So a turnover for the Bears. She will go to the bench. Sophie Manier back on the floor. Zarnata getting a screen from Ramirez. That one rolls off the rim. And here comes Chloe Tyson. A couple of missed opportunities at point blank range for the Wolfpack. Manier back outside for Thompson. Addie Post discards the defender. Tyson with the shot clock winding down. Post comes to get it. Shot clock at 3. Post forces it up and banks it in. Addie Post finding her groove in this second half. She's got 8 points and she beats the shot clock buzzer. Timeout on the floor. Got a little separation at the end off of Alvarenga, and Addie Post will take it. Back up to an 8-point lead for White Bear Lake. Under 8 minutes to play in the second half. Wolfpack basketball out of the timeout. And Jeremy Post drawing up some token pressure from White Bear Lake. Gracie Smith back on the floor. Here is Smith getting a piece of the paint. Back outside for Nelson. A handoff for Alvarenga. Down to 10. Here is Salmon. Salmon stepping through. Short. And Chloe Tyson secures it. Manier into the corner for Thompson, and that pass had a little too much heat on it. White Bear Lake turns it over. Olivia Zarnata back on the floor for the Wolfpack. Gracie Smith, baseline drive. Alvarenga up top for Ramirez. And she had it knocked away by post. 12 to shoot for Park of Cottage Grove. Trailing by 8. Only 11 second half points for the Wolfpack in this second half. Credit to White Bear Lake's defense in the half court. Shot clock down to 4. Ramirez turns it over. Thompson intercepts. Addie Post gets the whistle. Alvarenga will pick it up. That's the 6th team foul. So next foul on the Wolfpack will mean free throws for the Bears. Dieterle comes back onto the floor along with Hartzell. Chloe Tyson slashing in and got all the way to the bucket. First points of the second half for Chloe Tyson. She's up to a baker's dozen. 10-point lead for White Bear Lake, their largest of the night. Shot clock down to single digits again for the Wolfpack. Up top for Gracie Smith. Ramirez on a shot fake. Back out for Smith. Just beat the timer. Or did she? They're going to say she did not. And a shot clock violation will give it back to the Bears. Take another look. Very, very close. The Park of Cottage Grove comes up empty again on that possession. Dieterle outside for Hartzell. Could not knock down the three. Rebound tap to the perimeter, and Ramirez gets taken down by Tyson. Just a good solid hustle play there. Good to see Ramirez bounce back up quickly. Third personal on Chloe Tyson. Under 5 minutes to play, starting to get to that moment where you can't have too many empty possessions if you're Park. And another knockaway. The Bears with the steal. Dieterle calling for the basketball. And she loses the handle, no whistle. Addie Post has it back, up top for Hartzell. Dieterle draws a double team. Tyson spots it up and knocks it down. Chloe Tyson with 16 points. And just 2 off of her season high. Timeout, Wolfpack. When you're as good as a player as at least Dieterle, you draw the double team, find the open shooter, and Chloe Tyson has been knocking down her shots for the most part from beyond the arc. (49-36). White Bear Lake has the advantage. Halftime score was only a 4-point lead for the Bears, but they've built it up to 13 now and have really taken over this basketball game. Looking for their 5th straight win over Park of Cottage Grove. And Gracie Smith turns it over. Another empty trip for the Wolfpack. White Lake can run some clock here. Post. Back out top for Dieterle. Great look. Post was blocked from behind. Hartzell finds a cutting Dieterle for 2. And Elise Dieterle into double figures with 11 points. Smith turns the corner and takes the bump. Foul will be on Marin Peterson. And just wanted to correct myself. White Bear Lake has won 5 straight over Park, looking for their 6th straight win. They've swept the Wolfpack each of the last 2 seasons. You have to go back to the 2021-22 season. That was the last win for Park of Cottage Grove over White Bear Lake. Here's Nelson getting open off a screen. High arcing threes in and out. And the weak side rebound to Peterson. Dieterle falling away and took the contact. And she will be at the free throw line. Fourth foul on Ella Salmon. Thompson will replace Hartzell. And Manier is set to check back in for Dieterle. Dieterle able to get the second. 52-36, White Bear Lake with the lead, 3:07 remaining. Ramirez into the corner. Salmon, offensive foul. Getting a moving screen on Ramirez, wasn't set on the handoff. And another turnover for Park. Dieterle will come back in. Turnovers have plagued the Wolfpack the entire night. And you compile that with the defense that the Bears have shown in this second half. And it's a bad combo, and Addie Post has really taken over in this second half. 10 second half points for Post. Alvarenga just 2 points in the second half as well for Park of Cottage Grove after she had a dozen first half points. Here is Alvarenga into the corner for Zarnata. Back for Alvarenga, shot clock down to 8. Into the corner for Ramirez. Ramirez gets a piece. Alvarenga puts it up and a shot clock violation. No, they'll keep it alive as White Bear Lake has the basketball. Up ahead, Manier missed it. And White Bear Lake didn't need that quick of a shot. Here is Ramirez. Goes crashing into the lane, and she gets fouled. If it's on the floor, it's just an inbound here for the Wolfpack. 6th team foul for White Bear Lake. Gabriella Hartzell back into the game. Into the game for the first time tonight, number 4, Amelia Post. And Jeremy Post starting to empty his bench here. Excellent nights for Chloe Tyson, and Elise Dieterle had a strong second half after a slow start in the first half. Lauren Setterland onto the floor for the Bears, along with Abby DeWitt. Park of Cottage Grove making a couple of changes as well. Ramsey Nelson into the game, number 4 in white. As well as number 35, Rami Ashfaq. Here is Amelia Post. Final minute to play in the second half. White Bear Lake, a strong second half performance. And getting the friendly roll is Abby DeWitt. The freshman gets into the scoring column. And Park of Cottage Grove will take a timeout. Take another look at the first bucket of the night for Abby DeWitt, the freshman. Some nice kind rims here inside Pat Galvin Gymnasium. And White Bear Lake putting their foot on the gas pedal here in the second frame. Trailed by as many as 9 points early on. 13-4, Wolfpack got out to a great start. And it's a 29-point turnaround for the Bears. Esme Edlin into the game. This is her with the basketball. Ramsey Nelson draws the whistle. And we'll head to the free throw line with 30.4 remaining. Ramsey Nelson, younger sister of Tenley Nelson, just a 7th grader. Offensive rebound for Ashfaq. And we got a reach-in foul. Rami Ashfaq, the 5'8" sophomore, at the line. One and one, and she earns a bonus free throw. And she knocks them both down. Final 26 seconds. Savannah Severson into the game as well for the Bears. Here is Amelia Post. Shot is blocked from behind. Edlin in and out. And that will be the final horn here from White Bear Lake Area High School. The Bears led by 4 at the break, but a strong second half performance, holding the Wolfpack to 13 second half points, and they win it by 18 on their home floor. And the Bears improved to 16-8 on the season, 11-5 in Suburban East Conference play. Meanwhile, Park of Cottage Grove dropping to 9-14, 5-11 in conference play. 6th straight win for White Bear Lake over Park of Cottage Grove, and they've won 4 games in a row, 6 of their last 7 games. And this is the White Bear Lake team that you do not want to get hot at the end of the year if you're an opposing team. Taking a look at our game recap. Park of Cottage Grove got out to a great start, as we mentioned. Zarnata very active along with Alvarenga, but Elise Dieterle, Addie Post, Chloe Tyson, and others propelling White Bear Lake to a strong second half. Park of Cottage Grove tried to battle back, but Chloe Tyson was just too much. She had 16 points tonight. And Addie Post scoreless in the first half, 10 second half points for the senior guard. So White Bear Lake once again wins it by 18, 56-38. The Bears pick up their 16th win overall, and they've won 4 in a row. Next up for White Bear Lake on the road at Creighton-Durham Hall. Meanwhile, for Park of Cottage Grove, they'll be back home on Tuesday to take on the Roseville Raiders. For our entire SEC TV crew, I am Hogan Greenwood saying goodnight from White Bear Lake Area High School. The Bears win it on their home floor, 56-38. And we say so long from Pat Galvin Gymnasium.